Bonjour. Welcome. Hello. I'm here today to tell you about an amazing Ruby What If. And by that I mean we're making John the main character. Let's go!
Let's go!
The
John had
agenda.
the scene.
Pushing the
We must
agenda.
push the agenda. If we don't push the agenda, are we really making a video?
Yeah, if you're not pushing an agenda on YouTube, is it really YouTube? But yeah,
I know,
anyway.
right?
So, okay. So we had, both me and my buddy have had this thought pop into our head from time to time of John time traveling. He does it in Volume 9. And then at the end, they also say that, Team Ruby and John is being sent to the place that they're needed, not necessarily their, moment, you know? And then time clearly has passed in Remnant, meaning that time moves differently. So the thought was, what if they time traveled? Then it became, okay, with two Rubies in the same place, but then John has experienced a lot more, and John is the main one to do the time traveling, not necessarily Team Ruby. So it became, hey, what if at the end of Volume 9, they make a portal, or the tree makes a portal, Team Ruby goes through it, but John gets sent back in time. And he gets sent back in time to the beginning of Volume 1. What happens? Where does it go? All that jazz, right? This might be the start of a series. If you want it to be a series, I'm going to actually make this a like goal if you want the part 2. So today we'll just be covering volumes 1 to 3, bite-sized chunk. And if you want more,
Then let us know. We will make more.
Nah, I'm being evil. I want.
How evil are we talking?
I want 20 likes. Yeah, that's right. I'm a corporation now. I'm setting a like goal.
Oh no, not the like goal.
No,
we'll never recover.
Yeah, I know. But if this video doesn't get 20 likes, no part 2. That's it. You're gone. Advantage.
No part 2. We blow up the fandom.
Yep. Anyway, so what should happen first? Well, let's just start off with power, because that's the easiest one. I don't really gotta think about much for that. Oh, what happens? Well, John is
Stronger,
he's very strong. He's about as strong as Weiss, Blake, Yang, all of them. He's on the similar level. So that means he should be on the same level of the Aesops, maybe even a bit higher, depending, considering
around there.
They get stronger every single volume, so them getting stronger from the Volume 7 selves that beat the Aesops, that would mean that, post Volume 9 John should be stronger than most of the Aesops. Now, would he beat them? That's a matchup by matchup case, but he's at least at that level, if not slightly above. On top of that, he also has the busted semblance. But anyway, so what happens? Well, we got to figure out where he's getting dropped. Personally, I think it's just easiest to drop him in the same spot that Team Ruby got dropped, which is at, near Vacuo. However, it's important to realize that John is an officially licensed huntsman and it is recognized by Atlas. Now, would they have them in the database? No, but they would have his official huntsman license, so most likely he could just get a plane or a train and go to, as you can probably guess, Beacon. I feel like that's pretty obvious,
It's like, where else are we going to drop John?
Yeah.
Are we going to just drop him in the middle of a forest somewhere?
Yeah.
I feel like Beacon makes the most sense.
Yeah. Or if you wanted to cut out the middleman, you can just say, oh, John got dropped at Beacon, because you can argue that's where he needed him the most, right? So Volume 1 starts, and as it's starting, it would pretty much be the exact same, except what I think would happen is that John would actually become a instructor. Why is that? Well, I think it's because obviously he would talk to Osmond. That's, I feel like we both agree that, Osmond's gonna be getting...
he'd go straight to Osmond.
Osmond's gonna be getting a very strong sentence. And considering...
Or 2. Or 5.
Yeah, and considering John knows about Salem not being able to get killed, he might actually change his tune to simply put just making sure the group is as strong as possible, And considering both Nora and Ren in the past have assumed that the silver eyes might work on Salem, John might basically throw hope at Rwby, like take a shot in the dark and be like, all right, well, Ruby's the Messiah. Not much I can do. I just gotta make her strong. I'm not wrong. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong, but that is a very funny statement.
Well, let's be real, bro. Like, Remnant's kinda cooked. Like, Salem cannot be killed. So, like, their only shot is Rwby. Like, what? Oh, yeah, better watch out, guys. Base Ren is about to erase Salem. Better watch out.
Yeah, you better watch out for Base Ren.
Base Ren. He might hit her with the hollow purple. Better watch out, guys. But, nah, like, he would most likely become an instructor. If not, he would try to use his skills to just impart as much wisdom onto people. And, like, while he's obviously not the most experienced person in the world, he is not only stronger than an Aesop, which are the top huntresses and huntsmen in Atlas, but also he has survived multiple battles with maiden-level characters, he's slain hundreds of unique Grimm, and he's unlocked his semblance, which, keep in mind, most people don't ever do. Like, obviously, we, the audience, have seen people, oh, all these people have unlocked their semblance. We are literally following the 1%. Like, Rwby is literally a prodigy, so much so that she skipped 2 years into the future, right? Pyrrha is an insane, like, one of the greatest fighters on the planet. All of these characters are genuine monsters. So, like, even unlocking your semblance is considered like, oh, it's a decent feat, and only skilled huntresses and huntsmen have that. Now, it is more common because huntresses and huntsmen all have that, but still, it's like, it is a decently big deal. Now, we would kind of, in this case, we would kind of just add John. He most likely wouldn't be a combat instructor, because...
most likely not.
I feel it would his best position would probably be developing aura and, like, teaching kids aura. Because, like, not only is his semblance aura based,
that would be something he would do.
Yeah. Not only is his semblance, like, really good at multiplying and, you know, basically increasing aura, but also he has to keep in mind his aura reserves, the aura reserves of others, considering he can give aura to other people. So he's very good at managing his aura, keeping track of it, amplifying it, all that jazz. So, with a lot of pre-work, we can finally get into, I guess, the general what happens, why does it happen, right? So, starting off, Rwby, normal shtick, John, normal shtick. Basically...
Except he's a professor now.
Well, yes. Well, okay, we also do have 2 Johns. That's the thing we gotta...
yeah, right.
Yeah. Remember John was in Volume 1?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
Does that mean that John has the chance of meeting John?
John will most likely meet John, but I feel like old John, we'll call him that, is at least smart enough to understand that he shouldn't be calling himself John Arc right in front of John Arc. So most likely he will go by a some sort of
completely different name.
Yeah.
It's John Arc is I feel like some kind of timeline stuff is not going to like that too much.
Yes. However, there is a chance that when John ends up actually teaching the first years, so Rwby's group and Team Juniper,
he might end up teaching himself.
He's going to be teaching himself. And this would actually most likely
might actually be a John upscale and buff.
Pretty much, yeah, because okay, who knows John better than John? You know? Like let's be like, I feel like if anyone is going to be good at teaching John how to properly use John's aura, it might be John, you know?
But I don't know, that might not be correct.
Yeah, crazy. But anyway, so in this instance, young John would most likely grow in power maybe that little bit faster, and considering old John is around, he might be able to sort of nudge young John in like the right direction. So maybe he's not falling asleep in class as much. Maybe he doesn't tell Pyrrha that like he cheated in the beacon or anything of the sort. Now, even if he does, let's be real, not much is going to change because I really doubt that like old John would be like, I'm going to go fight Card. Like that's not in character. He'll most likely just leave things alone. However,
yeah, most likely that goes as it did originally.
Yeah. However, the first big change is Volume 2. And Volume 2 is where we see the massive spike in changes. So, let's start with the first one. I think old John tells young John, hey, Pyrrha likes you. You should ask her out.
And just like with no context afterwards as well.
Well, like,
he will probably mention it. Though.
He'll probably be like, hey, John, you know, your teammate or some. He'll like, I don't know. John's a smart enough guy. He'll probably be able to like emotionally turn the boat, I guess, in a sort of way. So John asks Pyrrha out, and then I don't know. Weiss can be alone and sad, and yeah, oof, poor Weiss.
R.I.P. Weiss.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's our first big. You know, maybe since John actually does ask Pyrrha confesses her fear. Maybe they get together. For the sake of it, for Arcos fans, you know what? You get it. There you go. There you go, Arcos fans. After prom, John and Pyrrha are a thing. There you go. I don't know. Be happy. But the actual the biggest one is Cinder tries to steal data to get into Ironwood's defenses through Beacon's tower. However, a certain someone would know she is coming. Who is that mysterious someone? Well, John. Old John.
It's John.
So,
yeah, current John, I guess.
So this either means that Cinder either has to face Volume 9 John, which, to be fair, it is a Cinder...
It could probably still be Volume 9 John.
It's Cinder with half the maiden powers, but it's still maiden powers. You know, like, that's still a big deal. But the question is, if he were to tell Ozpin, Ironwood, Glinda, or any of them, and then they all proceeded to attack Cinder, she would most likely have to run away or get captured. But it is Cinder, so she would most likely just dip, you know? She's, especially in these early volumes, she is far more cunning, because once she gets the maiden power, she gets very cocky and very aggressive. Whereas in the earlier volumes, she's much more willing to dip, run away, and all of the sort. And then you combine that with the fact that John knows Cinder, Emerald, and Mercury all have that. They will not be able to access...
They might not even be able to step foot onto campus, potentially.
Yep. And that would lead to them all, well, running away or getting arrested. Now...
Or all of the above.
Yeah. Now, moving into the end of Volume 2, when they have the train and the explosives, John most likely would let them go. After all, he knows everything turns out okay. So he would probably let all of that happen. The only difference is now Cinder, Emerald, and Mercury don't have access. And they most likely meet up with the leader of the White Fang at the time, that being Adam, and they try to plan a new form of attack. Now, this is where things get a little tricky. Obviously, the beginning of Volume 3 would go pretty much the same. However, Penny versus Pyrrha would most likely not happen till the very last finals of the day. And then most likely, I would say Pyrrha would win. So then Pyrrha would win the
Pyrrha still wins.
Vital Festival. And since...
Penny might get to live this time, though.
Penny would most likely get to live. However, there is something that, like, we kind of never bring up when we're talking about what ifs, is that massive Grim that blows up the mountain what are they gonna do against that? You know? Like,
yeah, I didn't think about that.
yeah, so like they can still have Beacon fall, and most likely it would fall to the Grim. But it wouldn't necessarily be as dangerous because well, the the Grim are a known threat, so you don't have to be suspicious of your allies. You just have to be suspicious of the giant wolf-like monster that has teeth and is trying to eat your soul, which you were kind of already suspicious of, right?
Because it's a giant wolf-like monster that was trying to eat your soul.
Correct. Now, if the city is overrun by Grim, there is a very high chance that Cinder does get the full maiden powers, and in this instance, Cinder would not be fighting Pyrrha. Why is that? Because listen, we can go back and forth on what we think Jaune does. There is not a single soul, I guarantee you, in the Rwby fandom that would think that Jaune would let Pyrrha attempt to get the powers again. Bro would not let that happen at all. He would not let her anywhere near Cinder. He wouldn't let her have any maiden power. Bro would, dude, like, that's not happening.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
But without a suitable,
He's just not going to end up with the powers.
Yeah, but without a suitable host, well, Amber's just in suspended animation for a longer period of time, and then Cinder is eventually going to find them by sneaking around campus. And then boom, Cinder once again has the maiden powers. The massive Grim is still attacking. With the massive Grim attacking, that creates fear in the citizens. And then the citizens and their fear attract more of the smaller elephant-like Grim that we saw originally in Volume 3. However, in this instance, the Atlas military would most likely engage them, and while most likely they would not win, they still would significantly cripple the Grim, meaning that while Beacon would technically be destroyed or compromised, it wouldn't necessarily be enough of a...
It wouldn't be as destroyed as it ends up in the actual timeline.
Because in the actual timeline, like, they straight up, like, Beacon's overrun by Grim. Like, there is no Beacon anymore. Whereas in this timeline, it's more so Beacon is down, like, they can't go to classes, all that. But, like, Beacon is still there. Like, it's not filled with Grim or anything of the sort, right?
But it is mostly destroyed.
Yeah. However, Cinder, Emerald, and Mercury would most likely still play a major part in it, and then would still, I would assume, Cinder getting the maiden powers, and most likely killing Ozpin again, considering that was also a main objective, and he would be obviously the one guarding the maiden powers. Like, that's Ozpin. Like, Ozpin 100%.
I do not think he'd be doing anything other than guarding the main powers. That is Ozpin.
Yeah. So Cinder would most likely kill Ozpin again, which would start the journey of Ozpin's reincarnation, which is the side project Crow was doing while Team Ranger, which was Rwby, Ren, Nora, Jaune, went on their mission to see what Emerald and Mercury do. I actually think something very similar would happen this time. And then also considering that during the fall of Beacon, just a lot of stuff went wrong. So there is that chance of happening again, but keep in mind, Jaune is there, and he does have knowledge. So there's a chance, like, let's say, Blake and Yang are running around in Volume 3, right? The 9 yards is happening, the Grim are destroying the place, all that. And Blake sees Adam. Well, Jaune knows where Blake and Adam fought both times. Like, he would definitely have that information. And he knows that Yang lost her arm by trying to fight Adam. So,
he's most likely going to attempt to prevent Yang from losing her.
Yeah. And there is a chance, if he has to choose between stopping Pyrrha from going near between going near Cinder and Yang and losing her arm, he's picking Pyrrha. Like, that's not even me. Like,
although he might send young Jaune to go help Blake.
Yeah, but let's be if he sends young John, that like, bro, listen, I know
feel
we're
like,
giving
I feel like that might be doing him a little.
this is
dirty.
the John glazing episode of my channel, okay? But even I am not like, Volume 3 John with a 20% power boost might fight at like nah. Like it's that extra training is gonna help, but like, bruh, it's Adam.
Well, he might send someone else to go after Adam.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. Although if he does have to go between the hard choice of Yang's arm and Pyrrha, he's gonna pick
Yang might
Pyrrha
just lose her arm anyway.
again. She might.
She might lose the other arm.
Oh no. But so yeah, most likely he can't be in every place at once, but he can very easily keep track of Team Rwby, and he most likely would at least keep some tabs on them, just because, like, he knows they're going to be important, because, like, he has knowledge of, wow, I was important in the past, and that's not even, like, him being egotistical. That's like, bro, like, they stopped Cinder from blowing up Haven. Like, they successfully overthrew Ironwood. They've done some important stuff. So, like, keeping tabs on even these younger versions of themselves is not that far out of a reason. Plus, if you went back in time, you would definitely make sure that you're not making the exact same mistakes that you did. Like, Because
at that point, what is the point of going back in time in the first place?
Yep. So, with that out of the way, then we get to, would John successfully save Yang if he had to choose? And while I don't think he would, I think he would definitely prioritize Pyrrha. He would most likely just, like, make Blake and Yang stay near each other and have Team Rwby stay close together. Plus, you add on to the fact that the only reason Yang was separated from Blake, Weiss, and Rwby was because in the tournament she broke Mercury's leg, supposedly, and then got put under house arrest, basically. She got locked in a room. So, in this instance, she would not be punished, so she would still be in the finals. So, like, she's just with her team, so why would she go looking for Blake? And why would Blake go looking for Yang if they're right beside each other?
Like, yes, will probably still lose her arm.
I need to go look for my friends.
Turns 90 degrees.
Turns 90 degrees. Like, Now,
it appears like my friend is right next to me.
Yeah. Now, the real question is there too much of a change to at least give a relative level of accuracy? And, like, I don't think it changes enough for them, because obviously this time Ozpin's still gonna die, so they need to look for the reincarnation. They're most likely gonna look at Haven and be like, Leo, what are you doing? Why are you bad at your job? Please explain. And then this time Blake's most likely not gonna run away. Or even if she tries to run away, she might get football tackled by Yang if Yang doesn't lose her arm. Now, it's so weird, because, like, if Blake and Yang fight Adam in this instance, they're gonna, like, actually lose a limb.
He's gonna get... like, either way, one of them is losing a limb.
Yeah.
It may not be Yang this time, but it's gonna be one of them.
Yeah. But at the same time, it would be very weird for Blake and Yang to just dip. So, most likely, Adam is either going to have to approach all of Team Rwby, Team Juniper, Team Coffee, Team Sun, like, all these people.
Essentially, if this happens, Adam is getting jumped by, like, everyone and then some.
Yeah. Which, like, he's relatively smart in the earlier volumes. He hasn't quite gone insane. So, most likely, he'll just, like, scream something at her, like, it's your fault I'm here, or something like that. And, like...
and then he might just leave.
Yeah. After already doing damage to, the humans. And while Blake might try to run away, it kind of doesn't work because
someone's going to stop her at that point.
Someone's going to stop her. Whether it be Rwby, who's still conscious, by the way, because Pyrrha dying was what awakened the silver... Well, no, Penny's death and Pyrrha's death together in quick succession. Because keep in mind, that literally happened like within less than like 2 hours of each other in timeline. So those two things in quick succession are what caused Rwby's silver eyes to awaken. That is not happening this time. It's done. Like, there are no silver eyes. So that creature, that's why I've been saying it's such a big deal, because no one can take that thing down. And our only option to take it down doesn't exist.
Would have been Rwby, but unfortunately, she hasn't awakened the eyes.
Yeah.
So we're kind of cooked.
Yeah, so Beacon's getting run over just by, like, that Grim alone. Plus, Ozpin died. But this time, when they go on their little quest, their little adventure, they're gonna have Rwby, Yang, Blake, Weiss might. See, because Weiss was taken by her father because, you know, he was like, oh, this is terrible, Beacon fell, I'm not gonna let my daughter do this, I need to use her as a bargaining chip because I'm evil. And then he twirls his mustache. And yes, that is exactly how it went down.
That's pretty much how that went down. I'm gonna be honest, I can't say it went down any differently, because, like, it did kind of go down like that.
Yep. But anyway, there's a chance he gets stopped, but at the same time, the only person who would know that's a bad idea would be Ironwood or Old John. But it would also be kind of weird if, like, a random teacher you knew was like, I don't think you should take your daughter away from this dangerous place. Like, that'd be... Like, John really has no authority there. Like, he's just a teacher in this what if, you know? So, most likely the team would actually be kind of strong, because it would be Rwby, Blake, Yang, John, Young John, Pyrrha, Ren, Nora, and then in the background, there would be Crow and New John following them around. That's 9 people, my guy. Like, that is 9 people.
A lot of people are getting jumped.
If Tyrion shows up, he gets jumped.
He's getting jumped by 9 people. They are going to curb stop this man.
But, yeah.
It's not going to be good.
For the most part, nothing really changed. Well, okay. Actually, a lot changes. Because Penny would also be taken away, so she's not added to the team. But
because she'd be an Atlas at this point.
Yeah. But basically, to wrap up every change that happened in 2 and 3, Cinder gets found out along with Mercury, Emerald. Pyrrha and John become a thing. Beacon still gets blown up because Beacon. Yang
is a canon event. Beacon must explode.
Yang doesn't lose an arm. Blake doesn't run away. Weiss still gets kidnapped because, you know, lend me some aura, John. This is basic parental controls we're up against. And then Ozpin still died, and then so we have the final roster of Crow, Volume 9 John, Rwby, Blake, Yang, Young John, Pyrrha, Nora, Ren. All of them going together on a quest to not only find the reincarnation of Ozpin, but the youngings don't know that. Only the 2 older ones do. And then that's pretty much it. Well, that's it for the first part. If you want more, remember, hit the likeable. I know, I'm being very evil. But yeah.
Give us 20 likes.
Okay. Yep. Big number. Anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Obviously, we had some fun with this what if. Oddly enough, we did not talk about many fights, mostly because Old John would most likely not be involved with that many fights.
Old John is not going to be brawling with random people.
Yeah. Like, obviously, he's gonna be, like killing...
He may be a little dumb, but, like, he's not that dumb.
Yeah. Like, he's obviously going to be fighting random Grim and maybe, like, random White Fang members if they try to attack. But, like...
he's not gonna jump at him.
Yeah. It's kind of out of character for him. Plus, he would rather just avoid confrontation like that.
I would most likely rather say beer.
Yeah. Plus, also, like, especially in the first 2 volumes, like, he's not gonna do them. Because, like, let's be real here. Is he really gonna, like, start fighting, like, is he really gonna go fight Carden? Like, come on. That's not happening. A 19-year-old John is
now.
not
It would be really funny if he did.
Oh, it'd be hilarious, but we know it's not happening. But yeah, overall, pretty fun. If we get enough likes,
although
part 2,
King Juniper might jump Carden.
That is also true. That would be hilarious if old John was like whispering in their ear, like, "Go beat up Carden."
Kind of like the green the Green Goblin mask.
The Green Goblin mask, except instead it's John's rusted knight helmet. He just puts it in young John's room because he remembers like the access code or something, and he like just puts it on John's bed and like puts like a walkie-talkie into it. He's just like
starts speaking to them.
Go beat up Carden. He always attacks from his right, so if you lean left by 20 degrees, you could beat him.
Yeah, Carden might get jumped by at least four people.
Yeah. But overall, we already laid out all the changes, but it's safe to say that for now, this is probably... Well, no, this is your only option of you knowing what would happen if Adam got... Not Adam.
Yes, if Adam got sent back in time.
What if John got sent back in time? So, I hope you guys did enjoy. You know, hit the like button if you want more. And to that one person who keeps leaving the comment, I'm working on that Cinder crime video. You may be saying, oh, I thought it was for the other Rwby villains. Why are you only saying Cinder? I'm saying it because, oh my god, Cinder has so much, she deserves her own video. So, I hope you're ready.
Every other villain can be one video. Cinder might...
Cinder's her own video, dog. Like, she's getting her own video. She needs it. She literally needs it so I can talk to people about how insane this is. But anyway, that's all for now, folks. I hope I answered a few questions you may have had. I hope that popped a few in your head that maybe you weren't thinking about. And most of all, I hope you enjoyed. I'm just a guy, and I'm signing out.